Are you doing all you can to let the sun help your brain without hurting your skin? Hi, I'm Bernice Hunt and I am a brain health specialist. I work with women just like you who are starting to notice a few memory challenges, and I help you to stay sharp so that as you age, you can still travel, have fun with your grandkids, and experience new adventures without missing a beat. As a wellness coach for over 12 years, I've talked to a lot of people about the importance of vitamin D3. And you know, sunlight is our best source for so many reasons, but there are over 40% of Americans that are deficient in vitamin D3. And you know, it gets worse because if you pull out the Hispanic population, that number rises to almost 70%. And if you start talking about Black Americans, it goes to over 80% deficient in vitamin D3. And it's free. You can get it from the sun. So it's like, why? Why is that happening? Well, did you catch my last video? I did a video a few days back about, vitamin D, and I talked about the three sources that experts recommend that you get your vitamin D from all three sources. So if you didn't catch that video, it's still on my YouTube channel, and it's also on my Facebook page, Keep Your Brain Sharp. You can go take a look at that. But today I want to zero in about the sun and sunlight, because like I said, it's our very best source and it's free. But the thing is that there's some things that you need to know about the sunlight, and also that could explain why there's so many people that are deficient in vitamin D3. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today, because you can be outside in that sunlight and doing a lot of damage to your skin. And you could be outside in that sunlight and not producing vitamin D3. I've heard people tell me, oh, I don't need to get supplements because I'm outside all the time. I'm always getting my vitamin D3. Are you? Yeah, are those people that say, my skin is darker, I have black skin, it's darker, so, I'm not worried about the sun, so I can be out there as much as I want because it's not going to affect my skin because I have dark skin. Those are the kind of things we're going to talk about today, because there's a lot of misconceptions about how we're producing the vitamin D3, and also about what that sun can actually be doing to you. Okay, so we're going to address those two things. Okay, so let's talk first about the dark-skinned people. Okay, because one misconception is that dark-skinned people cannot and will not burn. Their skin won't burn. That is not true. Now, if you think about it, okay, let's think about this a minute. That's kind of like saying, if I turn the oven on, some food that I put in the oven will cook, and some food I put in the oven won't cook. That doesn't make any sense. That's what we're saying. We're saying you expose yourself to the sun, and some people won't burn, and some people will burn. That's not true, okay? The point is, it varies in the amount of time it may take you to burn, but everybody's skin can burn, okay? So we're going to dispel that right now. So there's things you need to know when you're out there, because you could be damaging your skin and not know it. One thing you need to know is your skin type, okay? And there's a scale that's called the Fitzpatrick skin type scale. Fitzpatrick skin type scale. You can Google that and get on there. And it has like 6 different skin types, and it just describes them each to you. And we're talking about how your skin responds to the sun. So you kind of know, what to look for and what to do and not to do regarding your skin type. That's one thing. But there's more than that. There's also something called your MED. And MED is it's MED, and it stands for your minimal erythritol dose. That's the smallest amount of time your skin can be exposed to the sun before it turns red or itches or gets in pain within 24 hours. Okay, and you need to know that's different for different people, but you need to know what that is, and that's sometimes like a trial and error type of thing for you to figure out how long you can be in the sun, and then you wait 24 hours because it may take longer for you to see that your skin has been damaged. So if you're in the sun for 15 minutes, the next 24 hours, does your skin turn pinkish red, or is it painful, or sunburn or whatever? Or can you stay a little longer, or do you have to stay for a shorter time? You kind of figure out what your med is, and you're going to put that in mind, because it says that you want to have direct sunlight on your skin for half of your med, okay, to be on the safe side, so you don't burn your skin. So the one thing you do not want to do is damage your skin. They say that if you get one serious sunburn under the age of 18, it significantly increases your risk for skin cancer later in life. And skin damage is cumulative. So if you keep on hitting that skin and damaging that skin, then later on your chances of skin cancer are going to increase and increase. So you don't want to damage your skin, even as children. Sometimes you want the children just go out and play, they're not going to hurt, the sun's not going to hurt them. That is not true. I don't care what complexion you are. That is not true. But you have to know your med. You have to know what's safe for you. So you need to know your skin type, you need to know your med, and then you need to know the UV level in your area. And you can Google that, get that on your phone. It's going to tell you daily what the UV, and there's like levels from 0 to 11, from 0 to extreme, and it'll tell you what you should do in terms of protective and when you should go out. There's also something called the the short shadow rule of thumb. If you go outside and your shadow is shorter than your height, that's a clue to get your little self inside. Get out of the sun or cover up or whatever, okay? If your shadow is shorter than your height, okay? It's called a short shadow rule. So those are some of the things you need to know, because it is so very important. So everyone, this is misconception number 2. Everyone, sometimes they make a blanket statement that everyone needs to be out in the sun for 15 to 20 minutes a day. Not necessarily. Some people can have a med of 15 to 20 minutes. Other people may have a med of 5 to 10 minutes. So you have to know you, and that's important. People are different. There's not one size fits all. People's skin reacts differently. And there's even some people who are they call allergic to the sun or sun sensitive. I just met a lady the other day, and that's one of the things she told me when we were having a conversation, was that she was sun sensitive. Her body reacts negatively, very easily to the sun, okay? And so you have to know your body. And if that's you get with your doctor and see what the recommendation is for your exposures. You may have to depend more on the other 2 sources of vitamin D, a lot more than you do on the sunlight, okay? And just limit your time in the sun. So you have to know those 2 things: your skin type, your med, and the UV levels for that day, okay? Because everyone is not the same. Another misconception is if the sun is shining on you, you're making vitamin D. Once again, not necessarily, okay? It depends on a lot of factors. It depends on whether you're getting your skin is being directly exposed to it or not. Because if you have clothes covering, anywhere that the cloth is covering your skin, you're not making vitamin D. Those UVB rays are not getting through to your skin to make vitamin D. Also, if you're sitting and you're in the car or something and the rays are coming through your window, but not the UVB rays that make that you need for the vitamin D3, those are not penetrating the window. So you can sit in that car and go for 2 hours a day on that freeway or something, commuting and whatever, and guess what? You think that you've had a lot of vitamin D because you could feel that sun on you. No. Damaging your skin, yeah. Vitamin D, no. Okay? So you have to be aware of the things. Also the weather, pollution, smog. It affects the UVB rays that can get in. A foggy day, overcast, those things. So you may be out there thinking you're just, sucking it all in and you're not getting vitamin D. 3, made by your skin. Okay? Also, your skin taps out at a certain level. It only produces so much, and then it stops. And that's a protective measure. That's why it's hard to OD, to overdose on vitamin D3 if you're getting it from the sun, because your skin will stop producing it at a certain amount. So you could be out there all day long, but you're not making vitamin D3 all day long, And so you need to be aware of those things. Just because you're out there doesn't necessarily mean That's what's happening. That's part of the reason also why they recommend the 3 sources of vitamin 3 that you implement into your lifestyle, okay? Another misconception is that sunscreen will protect you. Now, sunscreen will protect you, but there's some ifs. It's conditional. There are a lot of ifs connected to that. Yeah, first of all, you need to put it on correctly. Okay, and there's directions on the label on how to do it, so follow the directions on the label. And one thing that you need to know is that you're just supposed to smear it on you and not rub it in. Rubbing it in, it's supposed to be on the surface of your skin, like as a shield, over your skin. That's the best way it's going to be most effective, not rubbing it in to your skin. Okay, so it's not it's only protecting you for a limited time. That's what the numbers are. SPF 30, SPF 15, SPF 30 or above is preferable. Most people can get a perfect coverage with that, but it's not like put it on, it's going to last you all day long. No. The 30 is for your minutes, okay? So you need to reapply it. So read the label so that you know, depending on what kind you get, how often you should be reapplying it. And it's only going to work where you put it. So if you don't put it on your ears or your nose or whatever, on your back or whatever, you're not getting protection there just because you have it on your arms, okay? It works where you put it. That sounds pretty simple, huh? That sounds pretty simple. Yes, and also you need to know that the mineral sunscreen is preferred over the chemical sunscreen. The mineral, which has the zinc oxide or titanium dioxide, that is preferred because it gives you the full spectrum. It's protecting you against the UVB and the UVA. Okay, and you want both. The chemical is just the UVB, okay, and then it has all other kind of additives that you don't necessarily need on your skin, okay, so preferably you want to get a mineral sunscreen instead of a chemical sunscreen, okay, so you have to take all those things into account when you're using your sunscreen if you expect it to be actually protecting you. All right, the other misconception is that light people always have to wear sunscreen and dark-skinned people don't need the sunscreen. That is a misconception. As we talked about before, if you have skin, it can burn. Now, if you have the light complected skin, you need to be careful because you're not going to be able to be exposed for as long. So you need to find out what your med is. Okay, but that doesn't mean you have to always wear sunscreen because there's certain times of the day, and once you know what your med is and the UV level for your area that day, you can go out for those 5 minutes or 10 minutes and get some vitamin D3 from the sun, which is the best source. But you need to know to then cover or protect yourself, the way that you need to do, because your skin cannot be out there with direct sun for that long, okay? Also, if you're dark skinned, it's something you have to be very cautious, even dark skinned people, because since you don't have those telltale signs like getting red real quick or burning or in pain or whatever, you may not realize that you have been sunburned or you have damaged your skin. There's a story about Bob Marley. He's the, one of the famous magician figures, and he died from melanoma because he didn't realize that he had it. He thought he had it was on his toe, I think. Thought he had a injury from soccer, a soccer injury, when really he had skin cancer, and he didn't even, me, skin cancer, I'm dark skin, what is this going on? So you may not realize it. So you still have to be cautious, and you still have to know your body, know your skin type, know your med for you, and take the cover or protection that you need when you've been out there for at least half of your med time, okay? So that is really important. So the bottom line is to know your skin, because you do want the benefit of the sun, but you also do not want to damage your skin and get skin cancer later on in life, needlessly, okay? So I hope this has been helpful to you. If you would like a list of other sunscreen sensible tips, I have that for you. It's in my resource library. You can just go to my website, Keep Your Brain Sharp, and it's like 2 pages. It talks about clothing and hats and shading and all of that, as well as the things that we talked about today. So you can have some sun sensible tips. This is video number 158. 158 about sun sense, and so you can find it in there, because your brain does need vitamin D3, but you also need to protect yourself from the sun, okay? So your brain's destiny is in your hands.